Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my first impressions review of the Nike Air Zoom BB NXT. So this shoe is supposed to release on July 25th, probably on Sneakers app I believe, and it's gonna retail for 180 bucks, which is premium pricing, very expensive. And I just got these in. I've been walking around and I tried them on and I'm super excited because they finally used React, like a real React in a basketball shoe. Like the first time they used React, I believe it was a Jordan like Superfly or whatever, and that was like a React core and it was super stiff. I was super disappointed because I tried the Epic React prior to that, and then I tried the React core, which wasn't nice really at all. So, and then like I'm trying to think, but I don't really think they've ever done a pure React midsole on a basketball shoe. I'm trying to think, but I can't really think of anything. So I'm super excited. I tried it on and I can't wait to tell you guys how it feels right now. But anyways, let's get it started off with the traction. So the traction is a semi-translucent outsole on this colorway. It's like a green glow type of color. I'll just call it a squiggly line traction pattern. And I guess it does outline here the zoominess in the forefoot, which we'll get into. The rubber is pretty damn hard and the grooves are thick and it's pretty well spaced apart, so I don't think it's going to pick up that much dust either. And the durability seems like it's going to be pretty damn good because the rubber is hard and the grooves are thick. I tried it on my wood floors and it's insane, guys. Like just walking around, just kind of like standing still and kind of moving the shoe around just a little bit, it sounds like sticky, you know? It has a nice loud squeak and it bites incredibly hard on my wood floors, so I feel like it's gonna have incredible traction. Obviously I don't know, on dust, and just listen to it, guys. So I'm super excited for this. I think it's gonna be really good, and I feel like it's gonna do good on all three categories, right? On the indoor court, dusty and clean court. Dust I'm a little skeptical on, but you know, I feel like it's gonna be good, and then durability I feel like it's gonna be good as well. And then here, if you look in the middle of the outsole, you can see that there is a plate. I thought it was React at first, but it's actually a plastic plate. I'm not sure how long it goes into the forefoot or in the midfoot, but it does provide torsional support, and there's really no flex in the forefoot, you know, which kind of sucks, which now we'll get into heel to toe transition, which is super smooth, right? So usually I like to have a very flexible forefoot. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't flex all too much, but it doesn't really matter to me in this shoe because look at how much it, you know, curves up here in the forefoot. Look at that. It just keeps you on your toes, and it just has this really nice rocking motion in the forefoot. It reminds me of the LeBron 16. Remember how the zoom unit kind of protruded out? And because of that, it just kept you on your toes. It reminds me of that a lot and feels really nice. And then you have a nice curved shape here in the heel and a lot of heel compression. So it's super smooth. You have a nice rocking motion, keeps you on your toes, and I love it. You know, it kind of like propels you forward because of the shape. So I don't really even mind the stiffness here in the forefoot. And then moving on to the cushioning, which you guys are probably really curious about. Here on the lateral and I guess on the medial side, it says Air Zoom. And there are two zoom units, very large volume zoom units here in the forefoot. I don't really feel it right now. I feel like I'm probably gonna need to break it in. I don't think it's top loaded, it's probably bottom loaded. So it's probably just gonna give you more of that springiness, as far as like it's gonna feel like a springboard type of propulsion. You know, it's not gonna be like a KD12, you feel the zoom right into your foot, which isn't a bad thing. And then here, they're saying in like the leak articles and stuff like that, they were saying it's a triple stacked React. And I remember specifically here, instead of Air Zoom, it said like React ×3 and then Zoom ×2. But then I guess they changed it here, which is kind of interesting. The React is insane. It's super soft. It has a lot of compression in the heel, and it's bouncy. You know, that's what I love about React. It's very soft, but yet it's still bouncy for some reason, right? Not a lot of cushions do that. So that feels nice. Impact protection seems like it's gonna be really good. One thing I don't like about it though is that it's pretty damn thick and you're high up off the ground, so court feel isn't the best. I don't think it's as bad as like the LeBron's, but it's definitely not good. And also another thing is you're not sitting on top of all of this. Your foot is probably sitting like around right here. I guess like halfway in between the second React slab or whatever you want to call it. And also another thing is I am a little worried about stability. So there is a lot of heel compression here on the lateral side. So it feels a little unstable. I mean, it is wide here in the forefoot. There's really no outrigger, but it does protrude out. But it does worry me because there is so much compression here. So hopefully it doesn't feel unstable, and hopefully it's not a shoe that, you know, makes me want to roll my ankle or anything. And I feel like they should have caged it just a little bit here, you know, for example, like in the Kairos Mark II, you know how they cage the cushioning up a lot because the cushion is super soft. I feel like they should have caged it just a little bit here in the heel, but I don't know, we'll have to see on that, because you know, here in the forefoot it is wide. But other than that, the React is incredible. And moving on to the insole, it says Nike Basketball on the insole, and it is a React insole. It's super thin though, and so you don't really feel anything crazy. So I feel like they're stretching a little bit, saying triple React or triple stacked React, because this insole isn't super nice, you know, like it's pretty thin. It feels basically like plastic. It doesn't really feel like there's a lot of compression. It doesn't really improve step and comfort that much. But still, the cushioning is so nice that the insole really doesn't matter to me, you know? As far as the materials go, Nike is calling it a mesh for some reason. I thought it was more like a textile mesh or maybe like a knit material, but it feels quality. It feels really, really nice. It's pretty damn thin. It conforms to your foot very well. It's really, really comfortable. And you guys see these little like circles, or I guess dots, in the forefoot area? That's a rubberized texture feel to it. And that adds to the durability, and I really, really like this as opposed to just like a full-on fuse or something, because it still allows the material to be soft and malleable, but then it gives you a lot of like durability, like if you're doing toe drags or whatever. And also it's making the material more supportive, and it's really cool because I guess it covers the eyelets as well, but it has like a iridescent look to it. So if you shine in the light, it has like a purple color, but then like if you move it, it turns green. I don't know if it came up on camera, but that's really cool. Also, another thing I love about the shoe, or I guess two more things, the tongue is super well padded. Like here on top of the tongue, it feels nice. Here on the sides of the tongue, and I just love a well padded tongue. It is oversized, so it kind of like caresses your foot and it feels really comfortable. And the tongue is attached to an inner booty, so it's basically like a half booty tongue. So it keeps the tongue in place and it gives you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then here in the ankle area, there's not a lot of padding here on the sides, but then I really love this Achilles pad. So it protrudes out a lot. It's very long, so that it kind of acts like a heel tab. And that makes the shoe really easy to put on. And then when the shoe is on, this feels super nice on the Achilles. I love it. And of course, it helps with containing your heel down as well. So overall materials, the quality is there. I love it. And for some reason, the materials look pretty thick, you know, but it's actually not. It's pretty minimal, but then it's well padded where I like it to be well padded. Alright, as far as the fit goes, I went true to size, and this shoe fits me perfectly. It fits me like a glove. Like my toe is pretty much right at the edge, and then width wise I would say it's slightly narrow, and then the toe area is snug as well. And I like to have my shoes fit very, very snug for my foot. So if you have a normal size foot to a narrow size foot, then you should go true to size. If you have a wide foot or you like to have a roomier fit, I would suggest going up half a size. And maybe this material might stretch out, you know, like mesh or textiles do stretch out over time as you play in it, as you break it in. As far as like support, obviously I don't know yet, but this is just speculation. Lateral containment, I feel like it's going to be really, really good. Like I said, the sidewall does come up around like half an inch. So that does, you know, cage you here in the heel. There is an internal TPU heel counter, and of course the React and this plastic wing piece does cage you, I guess, in the midfoot and in the forefoot. And I guess the React does come up here as well where your pinky toe is. So I feel like lateral containment is going to be good. And like I said, in the cushion, I don't think lateral stability is going to be that good. But I don't know, I mean, like, it's just speculation right now, but it just feels a little unstable here in the heel. But then of course you do have this like protruding out, so I feel like that'll counteract that. So like if you do this type of movement and your foot is flat on the ground, this will probably prevent you from rolling your ankle. but you never know. Alright, as far as the weight goes, I don't know, it feels like big and kind of like chunky, but then it feels really light because, you know, as you guys know, React cushion is really light. The outsole and the midsole is usually what takes up most of the weight in a shoe. And of course the material is pretty thin throughout the entire upper, besides I guess the padding and the tongue. So I'm guessing maybe like 12-13 ounces. Alright, so it's 13.54 ounces. So that's an ounce heavier than average. The average weight for my shoes, like my size shoes, is around 12.5 ounces. And it feels a little chunky and bulky. I do like how Nike keeps it like not super bulged out, you know, like Adidas does. And I guess it does kind of like come out a little bit, but it's not a lot. So they keep it kind of like minimal and streamlined as far as like the overall like chunkiness of the shoe goes. But I feel like the shoe is going to be very responsive. You know, the traction seems really good. I guess the cushioning is a little soft, so we'll have to see on that. And as far as the aesthetics go, the aesthetics on the shoe are okay for me. I mean, it's definitely not one of my favorite looking shoes. And it doesn't look like a ball shoe to you guys. It kind of doesn't. It more looks like a running shoe for some reason. Probably because of this shape. You know, Nike running shoes do this a lot. But this colorway is pretty dope. It kind of reminds me of the Kyrie 2 Green Glow, right? So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. But my first impressions of this shoe are I really like it. There are a few things I don't like though, like the lateral stability here in the heel, and the shoe feeling overall like a little chunkier than I would like. But the cushioning, I love. The traction seems really good. The materials are very comfortable, especially with the padding here in the Achilles and the tongue. I mean, 180 bucks is super expensive, right? But then I almost feel like it's worth it because just like Nike's using their best tech and nothing on the shoe feels cheap at all to me. So, but anyways, performance review will be coming soon. But that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.